Hi, and welcome to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we are going to be reviewing DC Young Animals Shade the Changing Girl issue 4. So, I know this review is a little bit late, but, big comic pulls, a lot of reviews, things sometimes get pushed back. However, this is a great read. I've really been enjoying it, so I wanted to continue reviewing it. I love this cover. It's all psychedelic. So, jumping right on into the comic, we get to see that she's experiencing and she's discovering emotions, new human emotions, most of which are coming from Megan herself. We got to see her experience anger. Now she's dealing with a little bit of remorse from that. We also get to see how everyone in her life is handling Shade's little temper tantrum. How she got into a fist fight with her old friends. Yeah, fist fight. She mind fucked those girls, but whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, she legit tortured them in their minds by making them see all these weird things and everything. And she punched through one girl, and she thought, she was literally punching through her, but, it was weird. There was no real damage left or anything, just mental anguish. So, we get to see her friends. They're concerned about dealing with her. They want to get rid of her. Her parents don't really know how to deal with her. Her parents don't really even like her. And then we get to see River. And River saw all of this on the outside looking in. So he is obsessed with the fact that she's an alien. And he wants to know more about her now. We get to see Megan's parents try to ground Shade, and they're telling her that she's not allowed to have her phone, she's not allowed to have her tablet, computer, anything. She's not allowed to do any of these things. And Shade's totally fine with that. Staying in her room, being cut off from modern electronics, that's kind of what she's been doing. But they tell her that she has to go to school still, and she doesn't like that. And she says, "That place, belch. Why don't they just kill me?" So her parents are like, is she going to hurt herself? And they don't really care. They don't really like Megan, so we get to see her going through all of the emotions that Megan herself would deal with, yet they're all so foreign to Shade, and she doesn't understand it, and she's trying to think back and to pull herself through to Megan's memories and try to find out why everyone hates her so much, which is something that she's been dealing with this entire run so far. So she's remembering some of the last night Megan was awake before the incident. So she's kind of a treacherous little bitch. She forced all of the rest of her swim girls into the lake, and she has them holding up large rocks over their heads and attempting to do different moves in the water. And she's just kind of pushing everyone around. We also get to see Shade's intergalactic ex-boyfriend and a number of different individuals that are all still looking for the Code of Madness. I loved this because we get to see notes that Shade's keeping in class and her little doodles and such. But we also get to see River's little note to her because he wants to meet her in the library. But we find out it's because he's got a million questions about aliens, and he wants to know all about her being an alien and what all that entails. So, of course, River's been trying to distance himself this entire time from her until he figured out that she's a little bit different. So now he wants to be best friends with her, of course, and he wants to go to her home planet and all these different things. But we also get to see Megan's parents are visiting her doctor, and they're discussing the fact that their daughter came back different. She woke up and she's just not the same as normal. And they tell her, and they're asking, why is this? Is there some sort of serious damage? What's going to happen? Could she be violent? And ultimately, the doctor says after a serious brain injury like Megan suffered, it's understandable for there to be a change in her personality, and that they should try to help her through this period of time. So we get to see her parents trying to be a bit more supportive. I mean, I love the idea of Shade trying to shed Megan's body here and going through it and trying to just fly away from it and not being able to understand all of the different levels of a human being and all the emotions that are into it. And she's looking at all of her memories and all of Megan's memories, and it's kind of tormenting her here, and she can't escape. So Shade is obsessed with old technology and old entertainment. So she's watching a cheesy black and white, I don't know, like, I Love Lucy type special, only it's something that is very cheesy, like this is how women should act. And in it, there's a young girl who needs to apologize to everyone, and she's crying, and her mom's crying, and Shade gets the idea of apologizing when you do something bad or you do something mean to hurt someone. So this is when she's starting to understand what the idea of saying I'm sorry is. So first she starts off with Megan's parents, and she starts to discuss her own birth parents, and she's saying that they thought she was wild and they didn't really understand her. However, these new Earth adoptive parents don't really understand her either. And then she says that she's sorry and she's going to try. And her parents are, of course, thinking that Megan's insane because they don't know that she's actually an alien. So that's kind of weird. But we get to see her try to make amends to each individual person. Probably the one to take the most note of is Megan's boyfriend. And he of course, is still in love with Megan. So he's trying to reconnect with her, even as Shade. So we get to see that night Shade is listening to old vinyl records and just hanging out in her bedroom alone. Well, boyfriend shows up and he wants to spend the night. So Megan's kind of uncomfortable by this. And she's saying that he's so much younger than her, and it's kind of weird and uncomfortable. And he's, actually, Megan, I'm older than you. And she agrees to letting him spend the night, but they're just gonna sleep. Like, just sleep. So he cuddles up to her in bed, and she's so uncomfortable. And somehow it's like their minds kind of meld, or somehow she has the ability to see into his memories. But she's seeing the night Megan got into her accident, but she's seeing it through his eyes. And it's her boyfriend and one of her friends, and they're discussing Megan being in the water and that she's been under for a really long time, and whether or not they should go in to get her. So that was traumatizing for poor Shade. And she sees all of the fear that they're all dealing with whenever they see Megan. We get to see this little monster hand coming up out of the water. But we get to see each of the individuals that she's kind of tormented. And I gotta tell you, I love it. I love this book so far. It's been written very well. I'm enjoying the hell out of the art. The color choices in this are just so fun and so different from so many other books. They're just crazy and out there, and Shade can go from being in her weird alien bird form to being in Megan's body. And I love that. I love all of the uses of her abilities. And I'm enjoying this DC Young Animal book so much. I'm enjoying almost all of the DC Young Animal books, to be honest. So give me a like if you like this video. Comment below and tell me whether or not you're reading Shade the Changing Girl and if you're enjoying it or not as much as I am. I love the art. Do you enjoy the art as much as I do? Subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of my older videos I have up for offer here on Cat Run Figures. I did review the previous issues to this, so check that out if you haven't already. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.